Hello and welcome to the Spectrum's football season preview. I'm Tom Dinky, joined alongside Jordan Grossman, here to break down the 2015 UB Bulls football season. Obviously, Jordan, the big storyline is new head coach Lance Leipold going from Division III to Division I, but Division III level, he won 109 games, 6 national championships, so obviously a coach that knows how to win, but he'll be doing it at a higher level for the first time. Jordan, what's really stood out about Coach Leipold to you so far?
Well, with those 109 wins, also only came 6 losses. Leipold really knows how to win. He's not a big fan of losing. He's a very competitive coach, and this is what he wants to bring to the Buffalo locker room. Everyone is having a good time in the field. There have been players who have been really explosive and really enthusiastic during practice, and I think it's going to take a little bit of time to gel in the Leipold system. At Wisconsin Whitewater, he had teams that he was able to work with for years before he was able to capture those championships. With here, he's coming to a new team, a lot of newcomers, a lot of people who have to step up into their positions. This team is a work in progress, but I'm liking the way it's going right now, Tom.
And, it can be about matchups. Who you match up really well against on one side of the ball, the other, and we have to be prepared. I think what our, philosophies and schemes do on each side of the ball gives us enough flexibility that we can line up on a week-to-week basis.
The offense is set, but what are kind of your concerns maybe with the defense?
The offense, like you said, is going to be a powerhouse in this conference, but the defense really concerns me because they lost a lot of people to graduation, like linebacker Lee Skinner, Christian Sicoli, and Adam Redden, who is great as a linebacker and in the secondary. Those are 3 big pieces that really the team has to fill, and they're going to be putting them with first and second year guys who still have to learn the ropes on this team. So if this team really wants to have some success, they're really going to have to get those new guys and have them step up. Few names I have in mind. I can see Max Parise and Brandon Crawford on the defensive line. Those are 2 mainstays that have been on the team for a while. They've known the ropes. They know how to play at this level, and I think that they're going to be 2 players in that line who are really going to stand out. In the linebacking core in particular, I think it's going to be Nick Gilbo and Jared Franklin. They have a knack of the game for football. They understand that what they have to do for the game is important. They're the mic, they're the linebackers. They have to call the game. And in the secondary, I think Boise Ross is going to be a breakout candidate. A wide receiver turned cornerback. He's been showing a lot of progress in this preseason. I think he's going to be a big piece for that secondary as it's trying to get over that hill and possibly back into bowl contention.
This is, again, the same philosophy we brought into this from day one. If we give up 48, we better find a way to score 49. If we score 3, we better hold a way to hold them to 2 or 0.
Jordan, what's one game on the schedule that really stands out to you as something that can maybe be a turning point for this team going forward?
Well, last season, one game in particular that really stood out to me was a 36-35 loss to Bowling Green, and that catapulted into a 3-game losing streak, and that's what was really the downfall of their season after getting off to a promising start. This year, against Bowling Green, that's going to be one of those games that we have to look out for. It's one of the first MAC games that's going to be played this year, and if they can take that game, that can propel them to the rest of the MAC schedule, and that can really change the dynamic of this team.
Mm-hmm. The game I'm going to go with might be kind of obvious, but I'm looking at that second game at Penn State in Happy Valley. Not so much the Bulls might not have a great chance to pull off an upset or anything, but I really feel like if that team has a strong performance against one of the premier teams in the country, I just feel like that could really catapult their confidence and really kind of just change the course of the season. Obviously, we've seen the Bulls have these great performances. Ohio State in 2013, Georgia in 2012. Those games come to mind, and the Bulls, were able to put a scare into those top teams. Weren't able to follow it up in the games afterwards. But I feel like with this coaching staff, inexperience at this level, if they were to even hang tough with Penn State for a few quarters, I feel like that would give them a lot of confidence going forward once they get into the MAC season.
Well, obviously a proven 1,000-yard rusher is always great to have, and when you start talking about this whole group of skilled players is certainly a welcome for us. 3 200-yard games, 200-plus yard games last year again. So that's production. That's staying healthy, being able to go through the long haul.
Obviously, one advantage that Coach Leipold is going to be that experienced offense with senior quarterback Joe Licata, senior running back Anthony Taylor, and senior wide receiver Ron Willoughby. Those guys had a ton of success together last year, and they're all coming back, and they're going to really set the pace for that offense. Obviously, Licata, UB's all-time passing touchdown leader. They know they're set behind center. He's going to have the ball to hand off to Anthony Taylor, who broke out last season. And Willoughby is yet again going to be Licata's favorite target. The two are roommates. They really have great chemistry together. Licata says he's confident in this offense, despite the fact that it's a new system with a new coaching staff.
Getting out and executing the offense is a little bit different than just learning it. So this first week and a half of practice has really helped me, I think, in my development, learning the offense and making it go smoothly.
All right, Jordan, everyone's favorite part, predictions. What is your prediction for the 2015 UB Bulls football team?
Well, if anything for this team, it's going to be a very entertaining year for this year's UB Bulls squad. It's going to be a very high, fast-paced offense, and led by Licata, Willoughby, and Taylor. I can see this team putting up somewhere between 30 and 40 points per game on average. The problem I see with this team is going to be their defense. They have a lot of players from an inadequate defense who didn't come back last year, and they're going to be filling that with a lot of first-time starters and some first-time players as well. Lance Leipold even said during his press conference that if they give up 48, they have to score 49. The fact that he said that they possibly could give up 48 points, that could be a possible danger to this defense. And I like what Lance is doing with this defensive scheme, but it's a work in progress. Eventually, he'll get it, but I think this isn't the year. I think it's going to be a 5-7 record with a 3-5 record in the Mid-American Conference.
It's the same type of offense, run-pass combo. It's great to have a running back like Anthony Taylor and Jordan Johnson, and have quarterbacks like Joe and Tony. So, it's the same kind of mindset going in, and we're excited for this year.
Jordan, I agree with you on a lot of points. I think this offense is going to be fun to watch. I think they're going to be one of the top offenses of the MAC. They fit right in there with the other MAC teams that just love to score a lot of points. In that same token, they're going to give up a lot. You had it right, and I think Leipold was kind of predicting how the season is going to go when he said that if they give up 48, they better score 49. This team's going to be in a lot of shootouts, and I think it's also ultimately going to cost them. Defense and experience, and also just this coaching staff. I have faith in Leipold long-term to kind of turn this thing around, but this is his first season in Division I. He has to have some people around him to help him who've been here before. But overall, they're inexperienced, so it is going to be trial and error. This team opens up with a very tough MAC schedule. You got that game against Bowling Green to open it here at UB Stadium. Down the stretch, it gets a little easier, lightens up with a game against Kent State and whatnot. But I think it's going to be one of those situations where it's too little, too late. The only good news the Bulls may get from that is if they get 3 wins, 4 wins down the stretch, finish off the season on a high note, could pull momentum into next season. But I don't see this team, sniffing a bowl game or getting close to a MAC championship. I agree with Jordan. I think they're going to go 5-7 overall and 3-5 in the MAC.
Well, that wraps up the Spectrum's football preview video.
Make sure to pick up the Football Issue on Stands Friday. That includes a feature on head coach Lance Leipold, a roster breakdown, and much more. Also, make sure to follow Spectrum Sports Twitter for live game coverage against Albany on Saturday. Reporting alongside Jordan Grossman, I'm Tom Dinky.